competition. Will he do it again? Well, we'll find out. Obviously, different race conditions, different race setup with the reverse grid, etc. A lot more to work towards. He can't just lead from the start like he did tend to last season.
20
this
seconds.
is first as well, I see in there, Joseph Morgan.
10 seconds. Stay in double file.
I'm busy. Go, please. Go, I'm busy. Bobby?
saw his moment the lap before, didn't he? On the loop, and then went for it the second time around. Brilliantly done.
Yeah, I would say in terms of mind games, it was brilliant.
Just blasting around the outside into the olds. Yes, that's a fantastic. And away we go. It is Andika Ramamolana, the pole sitter, in the lead, but he's given up the corner. Luke Burst just blasting around the outside into the olds. Yes, that's a fantastic line around the outside. He's just took, slight contact, and there is a car going sideways further back there. We'll see whether that causes too many problems. They are going to get around. It looks like Ramamolana does hold it, though. I thought Luke Burst was going to do a fantastic overtake, but as I mentioned, once they hit those S's, they are going to start to file down to single file, and then everybody needs to settle down. It's in the wet, Rene. This is dangerous conditions. Things can happen.
Yeah, definitely. We saw that there Mulana already had a small contact. Nothing happened, though. The car didn't over-rotate. He catched it once again in the first few corners. That was good, but how good was that overtaking maneuver on the outside? How can you start that ice cold into the first race of today? I mean, just sitting there outside line, keeping the car straight, managing to even get enough traction to go around side of Andika Ramamolana, now leading the pack. That is Beers, while we on board with Luke Rose. Look too easy, but in the drivers, you see that here, how cautious they are right now.
Yeah, and absolutely, and they need to be, right. We just heard it from Simeone, that talking about the first lap of Mount Panorama. It's no different here at Suzuki. You've got to be just cautious. You don't win a race in the first lap. You've got to make sure you stay in the race in the first lap. That's what you're doing. Yes, there will be opportunities. There's absolutely opportunities to overtake, but you need to be 100% sure you're going to get through there. Don't throw it up the inside and just pray. These drivers obviously very experienced. Some of this field is obviously been around for a very long time in driving. As we talked about O'Hara, dominant winner last season. He's going to know exactly how to deal with these conditions. Have a look at him at the moment. He's running in 4th place, up behind Giacomin. So see whether he can get himself his position improved. Keep your eye on that black and red Lamborghini. I expect him to do things. It is the sprint race, though. He was very good with the marathon tracks. We'll see how he can do with the sprint, the 15-minute sprint.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if he might not want to be further up, right? We will reverse the top 8. Being 4th is a great spot to be in the sprint race. Not that many points on the line, and 16 lines for the winner of the 50-minute sprint race. And then after a short break, we straight into the 45-minute feature race. And maybe O'Hara is just like playing the long game here.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see whether the way through absolutely are able to do it. But last week, with some of these top drivers certainly could work their way through the field. We saw it last week with the AMEA field. Some of these drivers absolutely are able to do it, but there is a real stacked field in the AMEA. I'm hoping that this is going to be just as stacked here, and some great racing. I can see O'Hara might be able to sneak through the inside. That's Garnham. Get his name right. Does sneak up the inside of Morgan there, so Morgan just losing it a little on the end of the S's there to be able to squeak through. And now they're going to come down to the sharp right-hander, and he should be able to hold that position.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, what was that? Who was that going sideways there?
That was a proper drift that we had there. I'm just waiting for whoever drops down the order.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, it was Carter. Yeah, absolutely. Dropped all the way down to 21st. I was going to say, there's no way they recovered that. Both of them were going sideways.
As well. Happen now, Tristan Carter on the outs, but the rain is tricky for all these drivers. Happen now, Tristan Carter on the and not
yeah. Here opens in the
really his spot,
or isn't it? You can see them Wesson, and it's looking like he may lose another one here. He's really struggling for it. He's just lost out to Wesson, and it's looking like he may lose another one here. He's really struggling for it, isn't he? You can see them double stacked behind him, fighting for position, seeing if really struggling. He's just
once again coming out there. Who is fighting there? That's Luke Rose and Wesson.
Yeah. He's just lost out to Wesson, and it's looking like he may lose another one here. He's really struggling for it, isn't he? You can see them double stacked behind him, fighting for position, seeing if it's Hesse and Morgan. Obviously, Morgan's the one we saw go off earlier on. So seeing whether they can get past him. But he seemed to be struggling just for a moment there through the S's.
Yeah, I thought Hesse might be able to take both down there. But step back once again. Might felt not that confident here in the rain, and it's all about keeping the cars on the road, because top 15 at least, they get points. So all of them are currently within points. You want to keep it that way. I think he opened up the inside. that just works out. It's like, obviously you have less steering angle, you can be on the acceleration a bit earlier around the outsides, just you also have to cover more distance.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. This is the driving conditions they've got at the moment. This is Morgan. I saw him dodging all over the back of Heiser's conditions they've got
For more distance.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. This is the driving conditions they've got at the moment. This is Morgan. I saw him dodging all over the back of Heiser's rear wing there, trying to see whether he could get round it. But you can see just how torrential it is. It's a pretty tricky driving conditions. Now, I'm hoping we don't have a repeat of what we had in Spa. The sprint race was like this, and then the main race, oh my god, it was torrential. It was horrible for conditions for them to drive in. But the best part of that is you kind of get to see the wet specialists. You get to see the guys that really can handle it. As I say that, Morgan's going to slip through on the outside here, or the inside of the turn 15 there. Is he going to be able to dive through on the chicane? No. That was nice holding from Heiser to position his car and block off the road.
It's just, look at how hard it is for them to even spot other cars. There's proper rain out there, and it only gets worse. I mean, the plus at least is in 30 minutes, and we only have 8 minutes left in this short sprint race, just to warm up the drivers, warm up ourselves kinda in watching Lamborghini the real race once again. I'm really glad that the season returns here, because due to the racing that we had last season, it was just really, really good. And we all remember Jordan Sherrod kinda demonstrating that you can have an entire season of just feeling super confident, not doing a single mistake. I think he did one in the end.
No, he had one where he got punted off by Benjamin Bauman.
True, yeah, Benjamin Bauman.
We had a good chat about it last week. Yeah, talking about it. He said he messaged me afterwards. He felt really bad. It was just like, obviously Benjamin Bauman. He was a young, 18-year-old Swiss driver, wasn't he? Who was doing well in the season, but yeah, it felt really bad about it. It was like, oh, I'm really sorry, Jordan. I didn't mean to play you off. The mighty Jordan Sherrod, like, demanding respect, but he actually still came back from 23rd up to 2nd, didn't he? If I remember right.
Yeah, he did. He started all the way back and then made his way through the grid. But although that was a crash, that also means Benjamin Bauman was the closest one to Jordan Sherrod ever during that season.
Yeah.
So, that's another achievement, but back to the APAC region.
Oh, Burst has gone wide.
Oh no, the leader's going wide. Is there a chance for Andika Ramamulana to make it through on the inside? There wasn't enough drive there. He also had to lift off a bit because you don't want to go into Burst here that early in the race. I mean, he's talking about early, nearly 10 minutes now, but you want to keep those positions for the feature race, but he's now going for the outside. Can Mulana do that? Can Burst cover the inside? They're not touching. Mulana tries to cross over, but there is no chance just yet. He has a great drive coming out of the corner.
No, I'm busy. Go!
Alongside for the chicane.
Oh, Burst is really struggling though. It seems he is under the pressure. You know, he took Mulana early on. Further down the field though, Chang having a look towards Chung, see if he can sneak up the inside. He had, I think it's Shaquille that's up behind him as well, to see whether he can squeeze past. I'll keep my eye on that Milana battle as well, don't worry. We'll see what's going on there. Who is that diving out behind them? Off they go. There's a lot of penalties further back here, so quite a few of them having to serve those penalties, those 15-second penalties towards the end. So this is battle for points, as we said.
Yeah, they want that. It's the group stage finals, right? Every point that you can grab might get you into sprint. The Apex.
Absolutely. Once you're going into the spoon curve, which they're doing there, Ramamulana getting a much better drive around the inside, just sails up the inside. Beautifully done there. Past Luke Burst to retake the lead. I can see O'Hara also fighting hard behind him. Remember, O'Hara does have that 15-second penalty though, but that was a lovely move. Cuts it on the inside. On a chance to down. Carefully not. Still good. Take him out of the top. Morgan Rose right back there. So
I don't know that way. Oh no, it's not true. He would actually gain a position, so it would be Rose getting pole position in the feature race. Oh no, it's not true. He would actually gain a position, so it would be Rose. By the way, Birds just yet. And Luke Rose, he probably knows that this is pole position, so do you really want to take 7th spot then? Or will he just wait it out and be like, nah, I'd rather start up the front?
Well, he's got to make sure he doesn't lose it to Morgan behind him at the moment. Joseph Morgan putting the pressure on as he goes. As he's sending it up the inside, he holds strong, puts his car in the right position. Joseph Morgan ducks in a little too heavy. That is definitely going to be a 15-second penalty to Joseph Morgan.
Yeah, that was not a nice way of knocking on the door here to make it through, and that will cost Rose the race and will cost him the pole position in the feature race. So that is
my fault,
you
alright?
can't make up on that with 15-second penalty for Rose. That's for sure. It's like all the points that he loses now and the opportunities for the feature race. That's massive.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's put him down to 12th, so he's outside. He would have been in pole position. That was the pole position spot. As it is, I think Davlish Singh would have been there, because if we were expecting Morgan to get it, but Davlish Singh's got a penalty, so Garnham in 11th, way down here at the moment, who is actually position. Just worked, because that's and
they make another move for 5, but O'Hara will get
that in itself could put a lot of pressure on a driver. You know,
Alright, there's some rain in this session, so watch out for slippery curves and remember to brake early.
Takes around the pitch. You gotta hit that limiter. We saw someone coming in for a flying overtake into the pits, and we just, as soon as we saw it, we were like, there's no way he slowed that down before the pit limiter. Sure enough, got himself a 30, and it ruined races. It ruined Darren King's race, who was doing very well. He was running in 2nd position, got himself a stop-go penalty.
And it will not be easier with all the rain on the track, that's for sure, because there's less braking performance for you to even make it to the limiter. And we had a few penalties being handed out on the sprint race already. I think in total were like 6 or so, which is a lot. So let's see how that goes in the feature race, because it's a longer race, so yeah, you might be able to make up penalties. And we saw that in the previous season, actually. I think O'Hara got one.
20 seconds. 10 seconds. Going double file. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curves.
Go, Jess.
Mandatory stop is that clear? Come on, let's go. Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
I put dries on! Wets in the pre-race strategy. Race over.
In the next 25 minutes. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was wet we were going to get. Pretty happy. This was wet we were going to get. Pretty happy. This was wet we were going to get. Pretty happy.
Come on, go. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
will go over. Will be gaining that 7th position once he comes through. And then Dylan Chang. Now, is Chang going to get a penalty? That's the question. I don't think Chang will, but I think Heisa absolutely. Oh, that's a big contact.
He completely wiped him out there.
That's it. Ramalana will get 2nd place. Brilliant fight from him, coming back from 8th position up to 2nd. So with that reverse grid, really on West.
It's very unfortunate here, but he was giving it all. And seems like he has just been a bit too late on the brakes. And you said already, in terms of points, O'Hara gets those 25 points from the feature race, but it is Andika Ramalana who should be leading after our first track visit in Suzuka with a sprint race win, 2nd position in the feature race, and then Luke Burrs probably goes 3rd in the feature race and 2nd.
Green light, go, go, go.
Sprint race. But with that, with O'Hara coming back here in the feature race, I think that opens this 3-driver battle now going to Mount Panorama because they're all scored big.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, maximum points for Brian Malana. Fantastic for him. You know, I don't think he was ever going to catch O'Hara. Obviously, once you give a quality driver like that a pole position start, and you're starting from 8th, chances of catching him are very slim. You know, he's going to have to make some pretty hefty mistakes. I think he did well to catch and get 2nd place, to be honest. I think he did very well, especially when you consider that tight pack of like 5 cars that were racing for a long period of time throughout that. We saw a couple of errors. Vesson obviously made that little error. That put him back. Lou made that little error. That put him back like 3 places. You know, he could have easily been caught up in that. But Luke Burrs, you've got to give him credit alongside Ramalana. They both did a fantastic job of weaving their way through the field. I think Ramalana's probably happy he got the move done on Luke Burrs in that first turn of the very first lap, because that just sort of set the field apart for them.
I absolutely loved how they went through the grid and managed to get 2nd and 3rd. As you said, Andrew O'Hara obviously getting the pole position. That gave them so many laps of clean air that no one else had, because 2nd position wasn't up to the pace. There was Heisa at one point. He wasn't able to get any faster laps in, but maybe Milana and Burrs had the chance there to run a similar pace, but they were stuck in traffic kind of. They first had to overtake these other drivers after having strong sprint races. So O'Hara did the best he could, really used the time that was given to him, maximized it, got the 25 points, and with that, as I said, opening up the 3-way battle for Mount Panorama and Alba first race. We're running the same format, so we'll have like 15-minute sprint race, 45-minute feature race. So once again, we will see different tactics, and maybe someone like Davlish Singh can once again show a great strategy to get well within the top 5. Absolutely love that, and said it must feel so good for him as a driver, seeing them being like, yep, I played this right. I read everything correctly, saw the weather, knew my lap times, and then did the right move to get up to a top spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to look at the replay and see where he was, because I think he was 9th, maybe 10th. When he went in for that pit stop. He certainly wasn't one of the front runners we were focusing on, because there was like that front pack. So he must have got in. And he went in early. I noticed he was one of the first 5 to pit stop, and really got some nice clean track and just posted some fantastic laps while everybody else is fighting, because they were fighting hard for quite a few laps, which would obviously slowed them down even more. But yeah, to come out there and to come out right on the heels of Luke Burrs, you know, as he came out, he almost got 3rd place. He was almost a podium position there, with that undercut. So the undercut working wonders. Obviously, when we go to Mount Panorama, is that going to be the same? Who knows? We've got a sprint race before we get there. The qualifiers already decided for that. And then obviously we're looking at who's going to be there for the 45-minute race. Is the top 8 going to work out? We heard from Simonini earlier on talking about Mount Panorama. You've got to be gentle at the start. 99% is what he said. 99%, not 100, just 99%. Just take it calm and easy, especially when you think at the start you get obviously go down the big straight and then you go into Griffin's Bend. That's where we could see some incidents, people trying to undercut. You know, it's a tricky corner. You can hold the inside, but it's got to go almost single file after that, because then you start getting to the tight twisty corners. Going to be very interesting. Loving the fact that this is on the calendar this year.
Yeah, it's a different track, different rhythm that the drivers need to bring, different strategies, a different challenge that we'll face once we come back with the Bathurst and Mount Panorama race, the second race in the APAC region's Group finale. We head out for a short break, then we come back with the standings and more racing action right from Australia. That was only down to him not being in the pits just yet.
And you can see how much time they did lose there to drop. He's not holding them back. He's waiting for those green lights. You can see them right there, ready and waiting. Red, stacking up. You can see them just edging left, edging right. Who's going to get a best look? And the green flag should drop any moment. Now, there it is. Away we go. 45-minute racing action here at Suzuka for the APAC region of the Lamborghini, the real race. And Andrew O'Hara is the man that leads it at the start. But look at this. Is that Lou sneaking up the inside of Wesson already? Yes, it is. It's Wesson that's sneaking up the inside of Lou. They are keeping clean. I'm just going to keep my eye further back the field there. It looks like it's actually been a clean first corner.
Yes, I didn't saw any of the car spinning in the background. That is really good for a wet start here in Suzuka. And O'Hara managed to stay up ahead, which gives him a really good run now. So everyone will be busy with fighting, with defending their position. If O'Hara can create a gap and spread that gap right there on lap 1, then he will be, at least until the pit stops, I think, be able to run away with it. All of that means he can't do any mistakes. We're absolutely sure about that, because if that happens, everyone will be all over his back again. But can Andika Ramamulana get back onto O'Hara and make this a proper fight for the feature race? He won one position so far, which meant he took down Burst, and I think he did it in turn 1. He was listening. He just did it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was perfect. Perfect place. And now remember, he's obviously took quite a few through the loop as well, so he's been doing a fantastic job. We'll see whether he can keep on pushing as he comes up to the spoon curve. This is where he's been making his position. Somebody's diving up the inside. Had a quick look there. It wasn't Ramalana. He's just keeping an eye on it. I think he's got Guy Comin just ahead of him, along with Rahmat. Now, this is where he's gaining it, and he gains time there as well. He certainly has, obviously, a much better racing line around that spoon curve. You can see the gap that he's left to Luke Burst already just going around there. So we'll see whether he can keep gaining that ground. Guy Comin maybe going to look up the inside here in turn 15. It's a tricky one. Oh, there was slight contact. That's going to force him wide. Yeah, absolutely. Ramalana should be able to go through there as well.
Yeah, that was 1 for 3, I would say here. Getting Rahmat already delivered to him by Jacomin, and he's also now right on the bumper of Jacomin's Evo 2. Can he actually make a move maybe into turn 1? But I think the exit here on the chicane was not ideal. Look at how he loses out even with all the slipstream.
That's Luke Burst looking to squeeze past Rahman here, obviously losing, 1, 2, 3 positions from that slight contact in turn 15. He's not going to be happy with that, there's no doubt about it, but he is down to 8th place. Luke Burst is going to get it done around the outside. You love to see it. That's just about hanging on in there as he goes around that first turn. And now, though, it is all about Gakumin. And we were talking about, how can he get it done? Well, he answers with the fastest lap, doesn't he? That's how he keeps Ramalana at bay.
Yeah, O'Hara answering immediately here to Milana going through the grid. And I wonder, Luke Burst, seems like he's struggling way more to get through traffic. And Davish saying 11th. He didn't have a great race in the sprint race, so he needs to make up those lost points if you want to stay in contention at this APAC group stage final. But with the weather, it just gets worse. Chills already in 30 minutes. We should expect way more rain than we currently have. So I wonder if I really hope that Milana makes it back onto O'Hara. I want to see that as a battle in the last, let's say, 10 minutes of the race, depending on how the pit stops go. Because rain battles, I think that's the best to watch.
Yeah, disaster for Garnham in that. You saw it start out. David Singh absolutely motoring here on the back of Saturn now. But Garnham, losing three places in the space of 2 corners. David Singh looks like he's got a nice drive here. Had a look at it. Had a look at the inside. Maybe going to think about it. Absolutely will take it. That was a wide run from Saturn, and David Singh's going to get himself another position up into 9th now from 11th place at the start of his lap. So great lap for him so far.
Yeah, I think that's a really good start. He wasn't expecting that after the sprint race, but now maybe warming up a bit, getting into the groove here in Suzuka, the iconic Japanese racetrack that saw basically everything. I mean, Formula 1 is there, right? Endurance championships happening there. The World Endurance Championship also has a stop at Suzuka, so it is just a great track for racing in general. Look at Jacomin, still on 5th right now with Andika Ramalana right behind. That's the car that we see in the darker colours. But Jacomin is looking at Wesson into turn 1 around the... Oh yeah, well, I was like, Wesson wants to do it around the outside again to cover it up, but no, Jacomin really pushing it through. There was minor contact. Andika Ramalana closing up the gap as well, but couldn't find any space yet to get there into the S's. But look how close they are, once again touching the rear bumper of Jacomin, who's now up to 4th. And you see Andika Ramalana really pushing because there was a door open by Jacomin, and he really wants to go through as well.
Yeah, and look at the position he's holding. He was making sure that if they do connect, I'm going to get around it cleanly. I'm not going to get caught up the back side of Wesson, because you can see them just tapping each other as they went through the S's. But yeah, it was a nice move in the end by Gakumin. I mean, yes, there was slight contact, but it was only like side panels. You know, that's pretty fair in all stages of racing. But Oscar Lou up in 3rd place. He's under pressure now. Isis managed to get himself a bit of a gap to him. O'Hara has gone, as we feared it may happen. We'll see whether that's going to get closed in, because at the moment, you can see these drivers there fighting to try and work their way through. Speaking of, O'Hara just set himself the fastest lap of the race.
He's the one that
oh my word, it's 2 seconds faster than anyone else.
Yeah, but there's also traffic for anyone else. Like, look at Andika Ramalana. He can't really spread his wings here and be quick currently. So O'Hara should use that right now to create that gap and increase, really pushing, because there was a door open.
It was a nice move in the end by Gakumin. I mean, yes, there was slight contact, but it was only like side panels. You know, that's pretty fair in all stages of racing. But Oscar Lou up in third place. He's under pressure now. Isa's managed to get himself a bit of a gap to him. O'Hara has gone, as we feared it may happen. We'll see whether that's going to get closed in, because at the moment you can see these drivers there fighting to try and work their way through. Speaking of, O'Hara just set himself the fastest lap of the race.
He's obviously the one that
Oh my word, 2 seconds faster than anyone else.
Yeah, but there's also traffic for anyone else. Like, look at Enrico Ramolana. He can't really spread his wings here and be quick currently. So O'Hara should use that right now to create that gap and increase it lap by lap. And then we have to see if anyone can catch up to that. But I think O'Hara, with being one of the strongest drivers here, for sure, it was just so magical that he got pole position. Really given to him by a lot of luck, and now being able to be in the position he is.
What's happened here? Wesson's gone wide. Ramalana has snuck through. There's something has happened back there. Hopefully we can get a replay of that, because Ramalana may well have just snuck himself, 1, 2, 3 places. We'll see whether he manages to hold on. You can see they're all almost 2 adrift. Are they going to make it 3 adrift? They may well do, because this pack has really backed up. And Dika Ramalana, though, up behind Oscar Lou just hanging onto that spot, but he's managed to get himself up into 4th place now, so he passed both Burst and Wesson there. Also, they try and sneak around there. What has happened to the man that was running in there? I'm trying to see where Geichmann's gone. He's 7th. He's down to 7th place. So clearly an incident in and around turn 15, or maybe into the Cassia Triangle.
Yeah, that's how fast it can go, right? You can be in front of Mulana, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in 7th position, but Mulana now up to 4th. I don't know, and with that, it's not that much anymore until he can see Andrew O'Hara, and when he can finally have some space around his car to really show lap times and maybe close and decrease the gap to the current leader. But this is a huge battle still. Look at that. Luke, Mulana, Wesson, Bird. Jacobin is still kind of hanging in there in the background, I think. Yes, he is. And right behind us also Devilish Saints. This is a proper fighting group. This will not be easy for anyone in there.
No, this is playing out brilliantly for Heiser and O'Hara, though, isn't it? Obviously, they're fighting behind him. You can see it's a 4.5 second gap already. Heiser has behind O'Hara, but Lou, 3 seconds and counting. It's falling away for him at the moment, and Dika Ramalana wants to get past this as quick as he can to keep maximising his points. He almost got it past Oscar Lou, but he's hanging on well. This is where a lot of the action has been happening, though, down this back section. This is where a lot of it was falling out, obviously, around that turn 15 into this chicane, this tight chicane, the Cassia Triangle, where all the action's been happening. Again, it's another wide run, but it looks like he's followed him. It's one of those classic traps that you fall into when you're following a driver. Sometimes you do them the same mistake that he does.
Like how people get the 4th screen up there. I would love to do that. I know it's like it's a holder and everything, but I'm not like to mount
3rd place as well, puts him on that 27 points, so great work from him. Giacomi, by the way, great work from him to get back and get that 20 points, because obviously he slipped out twice and came back twice, so very well worked from him. Oscar Lou in the end, yeah, while he fell down a little bit, ends up with 12 points, that 8th place, so obviously the penalty didn't affect him as much as it did, but Davilish Singh, his little sneaky move in the main race paid off. The pit stop early absolutely brought him dividends. And remember, top 6 is where the money is, so that's what you're looking towards right now.
Yeah, it is, and as you said, Davilish Singh is still in a good position there, just 1 point off the top 6 currently in the standings. Lou, Tyson, and then Chang should be on 10th position with 6 points in total, but we're giving away another big point bucket when heading over to
Also,
Rick that did back in the days. Also think that's a single screen setup, and I totally understand that ultra wide or wide screens in general are really nice. Just across that space, easy to set up.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Here we go. This is what I used to be. This is, you gotta love this. The old desk rigs. I wonder if he's got like a proper chair. Like a proper box. He did. Moreno did. Maybe he's ready, but maybe he is racing again. Here we go. This is such a mellow frame. So this way.
Drivers that we just saw in the race. On the City.
I was like, I'm going to ignore that.
That's not where we go. We go to the Real Panorama.
this section here, which is very
Yellow
critical
flag in
to try
sector
to
2.
avoid the walls and at the same time accelerate as much as you can. Then we anticipate here the entry, and you hit the curb on the right, and here on the most iconic corners in Mount Panorama, where you want to have as much speed as you can and don't hit the walls, but at the same time have a lot of speed. So again, here we go in second gear, very easy to lock there, and then again we have the back straight, and here we will see a lot of action with the overtaking side by side with the slipstream. And again we have the sixth gear here. We're gonna end up to 270, 280 later. This is pretty fast, and then we try to brake between 100 and 150 meter bolt. We have to maximize our entry, avoid the curb on the left. Then we go towards the last corner of this track, where you want to brake at the 100 meter bolt. And again, try to maximize your entry. So have a good exit on the curb on the right, and this was a lap of flattest.
Giorgio Simoni showing us the first Mount Panorama. Thanks for that once That's it, and driving a Lamborghini. So I would say that's the perfect mix. Still working on the driving a Lamborghini bit on my part, but getting there. Slowly but surely. Second race of the day, and we will head over to Australia to see Joseph Morgan doing a bit better after, he pitted for dry tyres, as he said in chat, on the previous feature race. So that's how he lost all that time. He started 9th and couldn't really bring points home. Lucas Burrs, he had a great start, coming in 3rd on the feature race, 2nd in the sprint race. So one of the top 3 drivers to look out for here in Mount Panorama. We also have Kanak Satam, who was struggling a bit in the rain at Suzuka, so maybe if we get proper sunset and summer feeling in Australia, that could be more up his alley. We'll figure out very, very soon. Oscar Liu, unfortunately grabbing a 15-second penalty in the feature race in Suzuka. That kind of cost him
20 seconds. Go in double file. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs. on the left.
managing to get himself that first position. Fantastic work from third place up to the win for him in the sprint race. That means he's going to be starting out in place.
Lou, then it's and Andika Ramamulana still third. That is the podium score. Seeing everyone else fighting right behind. Then it's Morgan, Joseph Morgan, way better than he had been in Suzuka. Lucas Spurs in sixth. Unfortunately, not as close as to Andika Ramamulana as he would like to be. Wesson, Heisey, and Lou. Then it's Chang. No, Chang crossed the line previously. So Chang rounding out the top 10.
Yeah. And then Raj Rahmat, Rose, etc., with some penalties possibly for Rose to slip him further down the field. Fantastic race. It was all done in the first lap, wasn't it, by Davlis Singh, managing to get himself that first position. Fantastic work from third place up to the win, and
you can easily do. Strategies could be applied here for our second race of the day. APAC region, Suzuka is out of the way. Mount Panorama is up next. Mulana will start the race here for the second time after that. He will do so on pole position. Green lights we have, and up away we go. Andrew O'Hara still on the outside, not really going for it. Though he sets a way tighter corner than on Suzuka. But we see Davlis Singh already on the inside. I think he's alongside. Andrew O'Hara right now. It seems like Mulana came out for way more than Davlis Singh getting into this fight immediately. Jacqueline came through nicely. Rahman came through nicely, but a few contacts down the back.
Luke Burst is just sort of fighting with Vessel already, so he's managed to squeeze on through. As I say, when it starts to tight out, you go around the Griffin Bend and then into the cutting. You try and keep it as tight as you can because you're suddenly going to go down the gears and up round the corner, and you can see they're starting to single file out now, and that's where you expect them to work out, but it looked pretty clean. A drive-through penalty for Guts. I don't know what happened up at the back there, but he's got himself a drive-through penalty already. But Andika Ramawalana and Davlis Singh, more importantly, getting ahead of O'Hara. That is what they're going to be looking for. Great start from him.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely think that was what Malana was looking for. Davlis Singh immediately stopping.
Oh, Malana caught the inside curve. Oh, it didn't cost him. Look at him, but he just caught the first curve as you approach it. Managed to take Skyline perfectly fine, but just clipped the curve, and that's where things can be very dangerous. Look at that. You can see the damage already done to his front right wing. So already clattered something. Hopefully it doesn't affect his speed.
Yeah, he probably lost some winglands on the right side of this Super Trofeo Evo 2 that we're racing today. But luckily, he was able to keep Davlis Singh behind, who's now launching it. And that's a massive speed difference between Davlis Singh and Andika Ramamulana. Is the car that much damage? That will be absolutely... that would be mind-blowing here. If Mulana couldn't keep the car together for just one lap while leading the pack and throwing away big points early in the sprint race.
Yeah, that's going to cost him, and you know O'Hara's going to pounce on that. Absolutely, certainly cost him speed coming out. He obviously came out the elbow pretty slow there for Davlis Singh to get past him so simply this time around. Coming also up behind him, but Davlis Singh off to an absolute stormer from third to first in one lap. You've got to be loving that, there's no doubt about it. There is a gap forming already. The top 8 is breaking away. Shotima slowing everyone up at the moment. O'Hara looking up the inside here, should hold the position as well as they get down in towards the Griffin bench. Should be able to hold it as he skips it round. Is the undercut going to work out for Ramamulana? I don't think it should. O'Hara's going to have the inside corner once again. He should be able to hold it. He's being squeezed, but finally gets his elbows out and puts Ramamulana wide.
Yeah, Mulana now dropping one position after.
Oh, what's happened further back?
Jacquemin also getting involved very, very soon. That's Lucas Beers once again doing what he did on the feature race in Suzuka already. There he was following Mulana through the doors. Now he has to open these doors himself. And Rahmat still able to defend 5th position, but Lucas Beers is definitely on the hunt. And Joseph Morgan, as I said, he was switching unfortunately onto dry tyres during a heavy rain in Suzuka, so it was just a little mistake there that cost him a ton of points of all happened in Japan. But here in the sunny Australia, now looks a lot better for him.
Absolutely, Luke Burst just gained 2 positions there, and that I saw him shoot up 3 places. I assumed there was a crash, but no, it was just simply a case of a pack jostling for position. Further down, Garden fighting for it. I actually want to look towards Ramamulana because I want to say he looked like he was struggling. He is. He's really losing pace, isn't he? Once they hit that main straight coming out of the elbow, he has not got the race pace. Clearly, the damage to his front right is causing him some serious speed issues, and he has lost now 3 places because of it from an unforced error on that corner.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be better for him to just pull in the pits right now, get rid of the pit stop. That means he has to really.
Come on, have one. It's a sprint.
Oh, it's sprint race. Yeah. My line was in feature race because he just pit stops.
He just needs to hold the top 8. He's just going to hang on basically. Is the best he can hope for, I think. I think he should be okay. There is a bit of a gap. You can see a couple of second gap between 4th and 5th now, so maybe a better hold on to it.
Yeah, but look at the gaps in between. Like as soon as Rahmat is on Mulana and he opens the door, everyone will move.
Yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem for him at the moment. Garland at the moment, he's fending off one. It's Jeff Newton that's further down the field, looking to see if he can squeeze through. Here's Luke Burst. He's been making waves, but he's lost them.
race time. Oh, I'm shaking, man. I'm shaking.
Once again to Joseph Morgan. We were talking about Joseph Morgan running quite far down on Suzuka, wasn't happy with that, was 9th in the sprint race, so clearly got the hot laps in there, but Luke Burst definitely put in some work. Let's have a quick look at the replay for him. This was the battle on the last lap where they were all jostling, 4 of them for position, is what we're talking about. I saw him shoot up 3 places and I thought there'd been a crash, because that's usually what it is, but it's simply a case of the 4 cars all fighting for it around the corner.
I absolutely love how Lucas Spears went through that. I mean, that was ice cold. Had a great run out of the right-hander previously, and then up the hill, he was just launching it. Switching left to right, wasn't even on the same line all the time. He was really switching lanes from left to right, overtaking people on both sides, and then absolutely paid off for hit someone a bit off track there. Run Oscar Lou, that could have been a big deal, I think.
I feel like Chang maybe got a nudge from Luke there as he went through. We'll see whether it could run that penalty, but it looked like Oscar Lou went through clean to me. I think Chang was run right.
Milano still 2.3 seconds in front of that match. Yep, 2.6 still is, so let's see if he might get the grips with the car again. Dialed in. Then all of a sudden, he might be outside the top 8. As I said, that is a big launch into the last corner. By Morgan, they go side by side the action. Both drivers really playing along well here. By Morgan, outside of the get to Rahman. Then will be Morgan, then will be Beers. And then all of a sudden, he might be outside of the top 8. As I said, that is a big launch into the last corner. By Morgan, they go side by side in the action. Both drivers really playing along well here. And that could be the chance for Joseph Morgan to go through and sending Fatli Rahmat one position back, and he does so. Beautifully executed here. Slightly risky, but absolutely on point.
But the fact that they're fighting is buying time, right? There are only 8 minutes to go in this. It is 2 minutes a lap, so you're looking at 4, maybe 5 more laps, probably 5 because they're sort of running pretty quick at the moment. The front sort of guys are. But the fact that now Joseph Morgan, can he chase down Rambo Milano? That's the real chance. Here's Garner once again fighting off Jeff Newton. Jeff Newton just a little too far back for that one, looking to send it into Griffin, but didn't quite work out for him. So a look towards Liu and Chang here. This is where I thought maybe he got nudged. Liu sent it up the inside, and it was an unusual position. It's not where you normally expect an overtake to come through, so I was wondering whether he actually did connect. Let's have a look up the inside. Forced Chang to run well.
Yeah, the problem was he couldn't turn in. Because Lou was on the inside.
Yeah, Lou just held it.
Just way too quick for the downhill section. But well played for Lou. Not blame him for that move through, especially against so much speed coming down the hill. Then Chang.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Still 1.9 seconds. Everyone else to fight because it is the sprint
Right, we have some wind conditions. Watch out for curbs and exit and remember to brake early.
But I have less swing than before. I'm just gonna double check that actually.
20 seconds.
Yes.
Stay in double file. Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
quarter lap. 2 cars right in front of me. It's just... How can I be so lucky, man?
Mandatory stop is now clear.
Ah!
Let's go.
E4 to 16. Sorry. Who did I... Who did I pick around? 22. Wait, it's not for that final corner thing, is it? It's down the inside, so I ended up getting because I could have turned.
Yellow flag accepted. Yellow flag, be careful.
crash because I cannot control this car. People just cannot learn how to drive this straight. I'm not braking earlier.
lap. That's why we love the Lamborghini The Real Race series, because each and every time we see one of these races, we will make sure that the last lap is not boring at all, and we get some more action. So we have to apply all these 50-second penalties, and we have to check the standings afterwards, because right now, I think Andrew O'Hara will win the day. Getting 4th, 5th, somewhere around that. O'Hara gets 2nd. Also got a race win.
Yep.
So he should be Mulana in the overall standings. So I'm quite curious what will happen there, and who will win the day here at the APAC group stage finals. And we will talk to the winner. That's the good thing about it. So
Yeah.
you can have a reaction to it and go there and be like, all that.
You say that. Didn't O'Hara dodge the interview all the way through last year? I'm pretty sure he did.
Just imagine if it's like, okay, second season, still not talking to us. Maybe he doesn't like us.
Fantastic racing. You have 2 wet races. You can look forward for us. From our side, at least, from the entertainment side, I'm sure the drivers would disagree. They're not so much of a fan of the wet racing. Very nice. The dry first race, I wasn't expecting it.
Me neither. But I have to say, what was it? How about races where it starts raining for the last 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Or
that's when it
races
gets
where it
fun.
stops raining. I was really hoping for that in this one. I saw like the rain decreasing. I was like, okay, is there a chance? Because once the dry line kicks in, this is so entertaining to watch. So I just hope that we will get that at one point throughout the season. Not today, but that didn't matter. Races were still amazing.
Yeah, no, fantastic stuff. I loved it. We've had, 3 different race winners? 3 different race winners throughout the day. So with
You went
Coben
4?
obviously finished. Was it 4 overall? Did we have
Wait.
double?
First race was won by Andrew O'Hara. No, Andika Ramamulana.
Raman
One
Milana won the
sprint.
first sprint.
Then Andrew O'Hara won feature.
Yes.
Then sprint was won by Davlish Singh.
Oh, it was.
then-
I was thinking Raman Milana. It was Davlish Singh. You are
Davlish
correct.
Singh.
Yep.
So we have
So
4
we've had
races,
4 different
4
race
winners.
Love it. Love it.
That's really good.
And that's going to keep, obviously, the points jostling. Davlish Singh, unfortunately, I think he only picked up 5th there. So that's going to... he's still going to be up there. He's going to go to the top 4, I would say, probably in terms of points.
Oh my gosh, how's that my fault?
Guy Coman picking up himself a victory. 25 points going to him. He also got...
I was avoiding an accident.
It's a whole...
Yeah, because he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to obviously look back at the first lap as well, because there was quite a lot of incidents within the first lap.
See, there it looks like it was going down on me.
Go come in and Rama Malana then also sort of caught into position. Heisa then also got in the way of O'Hara.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the start, Rene. Look at this.
Yeah, that's Andika Ramamulana's cockpit shot, and you can see already it wasn't as sunny and easy as it had been in the sprint race, and that is a lot of water
can't see
spray
a
once
thing.
again. Yeah, it's really hard to even see a Burrs up the front. That's turn 1. Burrs stepped a bit back, which obviously stopped Milana's way going forward, but I think Morgan on the outside didn't really get anything going, and you see that here, how they already spread going wide and trying to get out of the water spray. But I have to give it to Milana. He stayed calm and collected there. He just tried to bring the car through, but here were the first chance to really dive up the inside and gain some positions.
Yeah, and that's where Heisa went wide, and then he came clattering back in. A few other people get caught out there. O'Hara ends up behind. It's actually Gakumin. Gakumin's in 6th there as well, so he really did well to work his way through, didn't he? To get himself in that position. And Dika Ramabalana sort of jostling through. There you see Heisa going backwards, and this is where O'Hara captures him, I think. That's where he picks up the damage in just a moment.
Yeah, it was a devastating start for for them. No one wants to see that in the beginning, and you want to get into the race and feel confident in the car again with the new conditions. As we talked about, sprint race was all dry, perfect weather conditions, and then it was the first curb, and everyone kind of slid across
That was the turn, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough for one of the drivers because the rear slipped away, and then the big gap was created. You see that here.
So that's where
We'll start with that.
That's where O'Hara took the damage.
Got damage, forced an early pit stop, went back out, and then I got touched again, got rear damage, and that was it.
At the start, by the way, but obviously that was where I think it's the following lap where he actually catches Vesson in the back.
Yeah, I think that was lap 2. I mean, Milana had a great start. He came from 5th, right? He was already up to 3rd.
Yeah.
And had Burrs in front of him. We saw Burrs with great overtaking this evening, or this day's not evening for us just yet. But he was really doing well there when it came to proper fights. But it was Chuck him in the end. Like, that's the orange car that you see in the background that just played it well. He stayed out of any trouble.
He did exactly what Simonini said, didn't he? Simonini, sorry. Just 99% the first lap. That's what he did. Just kept himself in it, kept himself in position, waited for his opportunities, and took them as they came. And he was the quickest. There's no doubt about it. Like, while obviously he got first and maybe took some opportunities, and this was a brilliant opportunity. This is Ramo Milana and Guckerman both getting past Luke Burrs. That's where he lost his positions. And yeah, Giacomin, just brilliant overall. He was lapping faster than anyone else, by far.
Yeah, he did a great job when he came to the first. Seems like that was the race he was waiting for. Suzuka not that good, but here in Australia, you could really show his true pace. And
behind Fukai Komi just got on the brakes in time as Burst just outbraked him.
Milana, Burrs, O'Hara, and Davlish Singh. That's the top 5. So Chatima was fast enough, but we see Shaquille actually launch an attack here on Newton. Will they be easy to get the upper hand, enjoying leading laps? But someone like Andika from Giacomin, Milana would be the next one to pass it, and then just trying to issues bring that onto you.
That's without any problems there.
Sim racing or racing in general. Giacomin now finally in the
pit stop either way. But what I was talking about is the fact that Giacomin went in much later, was doing some quick laps, but...
Yeah, whatever. Oh, I totally forgot I was even streaming. Alright, see ya.